Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Perfect Country Pairings in Europe. We will get started at the top of the hour, so we're just going to do a little sound check, make sure our featured speaker, Julia, can hear me. Julia, are you there?
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Okay, we got audio. We're in good shape.
Yay.
All right, wonderful. Well, we've still got a few minutes till showtime. So in the meantime, folks, sit back, relax, maybe pop some questions in the chat, say hello, let us know where you're dialing in from, and we will get started at the top of the hour.
Yay.
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so happy you're here. A little bit of housekeeping before we jump in. The questions box is open, so please feel free to add any of your burning questions about Europe Express to the questions box. We'll have plenty of time at the end for Q&A. We can also follow up with you offline if you do need to jump off for any reason. We are also recording this webinar, so you can come back and access it at your leisure anytime. We also have a very robust webinar library at your disposal as well. So if you're looking for some additional trainings, our webinar library is a great place to start. Now, since 1990, Europe Express has provided high quality custom travel to Europe, offering everything from budget-friendly getaways to luxury experiences across popular destinations and the hidden gems of Europe. With a knowledgeable team of specialists and operations offices both here in the US as well as over in Europe, we work exclusively with travel advisors to craft one-of-a-kind itineraries tailored to your specific client's unique tastes and interests. Our goal here at Europe Express is simple. It's to help you impress your clients with seamless, personalized travel every time. My name is Kelsey Austin. I'm the partner marketing manager here at Europe Express and a little bit of a Europe expert myself. My career in travel actually began as a travel agent. So I have been in your shoes. I remember how stressful it was to try to piece together custom itineraries for Europe. Even if it was a destination that I knew really well, just the time it took to piece it all together was a little overwhelming. So having a partner like Europe Express was a game changer in terms of both the expertise and just the time savings that it offered as well. Now, in my current role here at Europe Express, I have the awesome job of presenting a lot of our educational initiatives, as well as working with our consortia and host partners on all the marketing that we throw out there. So hopefully this is a helpful, informative session for you all, and will give you a great leg up as you start to build your custom Europe travel business. But I'm not the only one on the mic today. We have an awesome colleague of mine joining us. She is one of our Europe specialists. She's one of the geniuses behind the curtain, piecing together all of those itineraries for your clients. Julia, you want to say hello?
Yes, hi, hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. My
Yes.
name is Julia, and I am a Europe reservation specialist here at Europe Express. I've had the pleasure of helping agents design, countless European itineraries. And yeah, one of my favorite destinations is the United Kingdom, also Scotland. I'm a big Scotland fan. But no, I'm really looking forward to being a part of this panel today, and I thank you all for joining.
Thanks so much, Julia. Well, we'll get back to Julia in just a couple minutes. Let me just share with everyone what they can expect today. So we'll share a little bit about who we are at Europe Express. I see on the Q&A a few of the introductions. We have some new to Europe Express travel agents, which is wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. So we'll give you a little bit of a foundation of who we are at Europe Express, and then I'll hand it over to Julia to talk about the challenges and best practices around pairing up multiple countries. We know, a lot of clients want to see and do everything. It can be really hard to narrow things down. So we'll give you some great support and advice there. And then, of course, we've got some resources, some recent news. We want to make sure that you're up to speed on everything going on with us at Europe Express. And then, of course, we'll have that time for Q&A at the end. So feel free to add any of your questions in as we go along, and we'll go back and run through all of them at the end. So without further ado, let's introduce you to us at Europe Express. Now, our expertise and our passion is all about helping travel advisors like you design custom European vacations that connect clients with the culture, the people, the history, the natural beauty, and of course, the incredible food throughout Europe. I travel with my tummy. I don't know about you all, but I do love a foodie tour or a wine tasting trip. Really connect to Europe through all of the culinary delights. Now, we work exclusively with travel advisors and we can manage every element of your client's itinerary. So, our ultimate goal is to take that stress off of your plate and help you impress your clients with thoughtful, seamless, and unforgettable travel experiences that will keep them coming back year after year. Now, as your one stop shop for custom FIT travel to Europe, we offer a full range of customizable services that we can plug together to build that perfect itinerary for your clients. From air and rail to immersive sightseeing and stunning hotels, we can help you craft tailored experiences that impress your clients and keep them coming back. Now, if you're looking for more of a deep dive into all of these products and services that we offer, I recommend registering for one of our Introduction to Europe Express webinars, and we'll go a bit more into detail of all of these different services that we offer. Now, let's take a moment to highlight what truly sets Europe Express apart in the market and why travel advisors choose to work with us again and again. First and foremost, we are exclusive to travel advisors. We don't market to consumers, so you can feel confident knowing you'll never be competing with us. Everything we do is designed to support you and making your business thrive. Secondly, we are the Europe specialist. Europe is the only region that we sell, and we do it well. We've been doing it for over 30 years. Our team has deep destination specific knowledge and insight to help you craft trips that go beyond the basics. We also have a dedicated private groups team. Whether you're working with a leisure group, an affinity group, maybe a cruise group, multi generational family trip, whatever the case may be, we can help you manage all the details and deliver a seamless experience, whether it's 15 friends traveling together or 500 college students. We also offer hand selected products. We partner with trusted local suppliers across Europe. We personally vet many of our hotels, the tours, the transportation options to ensure that that high standard is maintained year after year. And all of those quality curated components are pieced together, designed to impress your clients. And last but certainly not least, our advisors do love to hear that we provide 24/7 in destination support for your clients. So, this is the only scenario where we would work with your clients directly and not go through you, is if there was an issue or concern while your clients are traveling. Maybe a train got canceled or there was a strike and they weren't able to, get on the bus, whatever the case may be. They have a phone number they can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and our on the ground team is available around the clock to help them resolve any issues quickly, so you're not on the receiving end of that panicky phone call while your clients are abroad. Now, Europe Express is part of the Travelopia family of brands, which represent a wide array of experiential travel brands all over the world. We have the backing and support of Travelopia, our parent company, but each of our brands, we operate independently and we really get to focus on being the best at what we do. Now, if you followed Europe Express for a little while, you might have seen that our website has changed. We've had a lot of technology updates going on behind the scenes. And while our tech continues to evolve, and we're really proud of those leaps and bounds we've made, one thing hasn't changed, and that's that we're a people first company. Relationships truly are at the heart of what we do at Europe Express. And we're proud to have a US based team here that support you every step of the way. First and foremost, we have our locally based business development team ready to help you grow your custom Europe business. So our BDMs for short are based all across the US. So whether you're new to Europe or if you're just scaling up your sales, you've got someone in your local area that you can connect with. They're here to guide, train, and strategize with you, just as their name says, to help you develop your Europe travel business. And you'll also work directly with experienced Europe experts like Julia. So you don't have to start from scratch and reinvent the wheel, meet with a new specialist with every single quote. You can kind of align with one specialist if you get along really well, you like how each other works, perhaps you're in the same time zone, so it makes the communication flow really smoothly. You can go back to that specialist directly again and again, and that personalized support really helps streamline the whole booking process start to finish. Now, both our business development managers as well as our Europe specialists are strategically located across time zones in the US. So, no matter where you're based, there is someone available when you need them. And of course, we work exclusively with our travel advisors. So, everything we do is built with your success in mind. However, we wouldn't get too far if it weren't for our operations team and our product managers across the pond in Europe. Our operations are headquartered in Barcelona, Spain, which gives us a strong local presence in Europe, and we could really keep our fingers on the pulse of what's going on in the destinations that we serve. This team is constantly vetting and enhancing our product portfolio, ensuring that we're offering consistently high quality options for your clients, tapping into new travel trends, as well as making sure we've got those classic must-see experiences on offer. We have dedicated product managers who specialize in a specific country or a specific region so they can focus on maintaining those strong relationships with our trusted supplier partners and ensure every product and service meets our high standards. On the operational side, we have specialists for both FIT as well as group travel. So no matter the complexity of your booking, there is an expert behind the scenes making sure everything runs smoothly on the operational side. And of course, once your clients are in destination, these folks here are the heroes that are helping to manage that 24/7 on the ground support line to assist while your clients are traveling. Now, at Europe Express, we specialize in custom built FIT travel across Europe. Whether your clients want to explore one iconic city, a collection of regional highlights, or multiple countries in a single trip, we offer access to a wide range of competitive rates on flights, hotels, rail, you name it. We can offer it to your clients, and you can book that with us online, over the phone, via email, whichever method suits your business best. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later in the presentation. Our US based reservations team is made up of experts who are here to assist every step of the way to ensure that smooth planning process and that peace of mind for you. And from a business standpoint, that also makes it super easy. You're booking in one currency, there's one payment, full commission tracking for every booking. You're not chasing commission from multiple DMCs or hotels or doing currency conversion or anything making the process overly complex. Now, when it comes to private group travel, we offer end-to-end expertise for groups of 15 travelers or more. So we go by number of travelers, not number of rooms, like I know many cruise lines do. So keep that in mind. 15 is the magic number where you would go from working with our FIT department to private groups if there's 15 or more. Whether it's a special interest tour, maybe there's a wine club, a student trip, a multi-generational family adventure, we can provide a truly custom approach for your clients. And our groups team works exclusively on private group travel. It's not a side service, it's really this team's specialty. And they truly understand the logistics and the pacing, the flexibility required, all of those nuances that make traveling as a larger group successful and enjoyable for all participants. And from the hotel selections, private sightseeing, to custom meals and transportation, we can offer recommendations tailored to your group's goals, their size, their budget, and what their interests are. Now, each private group at Europe Express is managed by a team of three, and I've worked for a few different travel companies in my 15 or so years in the industry, and this is very unique to Europe Express, at least in my experience. So each private group booking starts with starts with our sales team. You'll have a consultant who's going to help you build that group trip. They'll provide recommendations to make sure the itinerary just ticks all the boxes for your clients and is also going to flow smoothly on the operational side. Once we've got the itinerary locked down, that'll move over to our operations team, and they'll be managing the logistics, collecting guest details if we need passport information, dates of birth, all that good stuff. They'll process payments, handle any changes or special requests along the way, all of the nitty gritty operational items they handle. And then when the trip actually commences, it'll pass to a operations team member based in Europe. So you've got someone in your back pocket in the region where your clients are going to be that can manage the group while they're traveling, offer that in destination support and emergency contact to ensure that the trip operates smoothly start to finish. Now, there are many amazing ways to see Europe, from river cruises to guided vacations and everything in between. There is no wrong way to explore Europe. However, custom travel does offer some unique advantages that truly elevate your client's experience. And here's why I think it's such a powerful option. First and foremost, we can tailor make for each client's personal interests and their budget considerations. There is no copy paste cookie cutter itineraries here. Everything is built from the ground up to suit your client's interests and needs. Custom travel also allows for the flexibility to depart any day. We know that guided vacations or cruise lines, they have fixed departure days. And with our busy schedules, we've got the kids' soccer camp and our work conferences and so many competing priorities, it can be really difficult to find, that sweet spot where everyone's schedules align and work with a fixed dated tour. So the ability to depart any day, really maximize their time in destination is a great benefit to custom travel. It also allows for really immersive exploration. Custom itineraries provide that ultimate access, reaching destinations and experiences that larger coaches or cruises simply can't access. A great example of this is the Amalfi Coast in Italy. Coaches have really strict limitations in that area of Italy. The it's a crowded area. The streets are very narrow, so they can't navigate large coaches there. So, with custom travel, your clients can explore those hidden villages and secluded beaches off the beaten path and not be unencumbered by some of those regulations that are in place. And custom travel is also a great sustainable way to experience Europe. Our product team is passionate about partnering with locally owned hotels and tour operators. And this approach not only guarantees an authentic, high quality experience, but it also ensures more of your clients' travel dollars stay and benefit the local economies, which support the communities that we're visiting, gives travelers a genuine connection to the heart of the destination, and ensure that they're going to be around for years and years to come. Now, we know that every client is different. Your idea of a dream vacation to France may differ dramatically from mine or my fiance's, as I'm discovering as we plan our honeymoon. We have very different ideas of what we want out of a Europe trip. But regardless of what your clients are into, what their interests, what drives them to visit Europe, we can make sure that they have the European experience that they're looking for. Whether they're big time foodies and want to go on a wine adventure or maybe take some cooking classes, maybe they're super into art history and want some skip the line, behind the scenes experiences of some of Europe's most amazing museums. If we have families traveling together, it can be really hard to find activities that multiple generations are going to like. We can absolutely work with you there. We have many travel advisors who come to us because their clients are going on a European river or ocean cruise and want to extend their stay a little bit. We don't have a minimum night or minimum dollar spend, so we can certainly help with just 3 nights Barcelona before they board their cruise or whatever the case may be. There's also been a big uptick in visiting destinations that have been featured in TV and movies, whether it was a filming location or just, an homage to that place. It's fair to say if Netflix is going there, we probably have a tour there as well. There's also Disneyland Paris. If your clients have ticked those boxes, they've been to both parks in the US, maybe they've done a Disney cruise already too, why not offer them the experience to see Disney from a whole new lens across over in France? And of course, don't discount Europe for those beaches and spa getaways. It can be just as cost effective as a resort and all inclusive in the Caribbean. And there's really nothing like the beaches of Europe. I'm thinking about Greece or Croatia, amazing places that I know your clients are going to love. but I'm sure you're sick of my voice now. Let's hand it over to Julia, our Europe specialist, and she's got some great expertise to share about perfect country pairings. Julia, take it away.
Hi, yes, thank you so much. So I'm actually really excited to talk about this because this is something that, I know a lot of our, travel agents and also clients just we run into this challenge a lot, too much, too fast. And we can, just to start, I mean, Europe is, so rich with history and culture and just iconic destinations. It's very tempting for clients to want to check off the entire bucket list and as many countries as possible in one go. We have, of course, found that, more is not always better. When these itineraries get a bit overloaded, it can start to feel rushed and disjointed. It can even get, stressful for travelers. They become exhausted by the end of the trip. So the magic really happens is when we have that flow, when we have destinations that connect naturally, when they make logistical sense and kind of create that variety without chaos. And this is why I always say, two countries does work best. Smart country pairings. We want to make sure that they work well together. Some key factors that you're going to want to make sure is that we are offering, shorter distances and shared borders that make, something like a multi-country itinerary work better. Two countries also usually have, strong rail and, budget flight networks that just make travel very smooth and affordable. This is, the benefit is that the travelers, really enjoy more variety without rushing through too many locations at once. We found that this really works well. So I would say some of the do's for country pairing would be we definitely want to make sure that we're pairing, neighboring and well-connected countries, like I mentioned. This helps us avoid, long transfers and it maximizes clients' time actually spent exploring these destinations. High-speed trains and short flights also make these transitions, smooth, stress-free. We want to make sure that we're matching cultures, climates, travel styles. When we choose our destinations that align in, pace and weather, we're creating a trip that really feels cohesive. Uh, for example, I usually say, pairing Paris with Amsterdam, just feels natural, where pairing, maybe Paris with Athens might feel a bit disconnected. And we definitely want to make sure that we're planning at least 2 or 3 nights in each destination. Clients definitely need that time to settle in and explore. When we're rushing from one place to another, it can kind of make the whole trip just feel like a blur. We really, longer stays create deeper and more memorable experiences for clients, every time. And then some of the don'ts, I would say, we don't want to combine countries that are far apart. Long train rides and multiple airport connections usually just drain time and money and energy from our clients. This can also, yeah, like I mentioned before, lead to fatigue and, less time actually enjoying these destinations that they're visiting. Also, we're going to not want to overlook any visa requirements or currencies. While, of course, much of Europe does use the euro, there are some destinations like the UK or Switzerland that have different rules. When we don't plan for this, this also, can add to stress for the clients. And of course, we want to make sure we're not overloading the itinerary. When we have too many stops, it is one of our, biggest mistakes that we make. The clients may think that seeing more is better, but honestly, in reality, it does, lead to rush sightseeing rather than these, meaningful experiences that we're trying to create for the clients. So, some examples that we do have, some of our featured pairings, and this is, a really popular one, just to do, pairings, correct multi or even just like duo countries that, complement each other. These are ones that, I have, personally, I've sent out countless itineraries of these connections. They're a great mix of culture and experiences, but we also are getting that diversity. And as always, I mean, these are very easy to sell. It's stress free, usually, doesn't take too much of a connection, and they're still seeing, everything they wanted to see in these kind of like powerhouse destinations in Europe. So to start, I think our first example is Britain and France. This is an all-star pairing for sure. It is one of two of Europe's most iconic capitals, and the Eurostar just makes this combination really effortless. In less than 2.5 hours, the clients can move from one city to the next without dealing with any airports. That's always a plus. Both of them are obviously culture rich, walkable. I mean, they are just full of different, history, food, art. It really makes this like a seamless and very rewarding um, just tour for the clients. And then I think we have some of our go-to, yeah, some of our highlights on these. I always recommend this Magic of London afternoon tea tour. It is, I've always, really wowed. We've wowed clients with this one. They're able to do, the visit to Buckingham Palace. They do the Tower of London, see the changing of the guards. It really, I mean, it's a wonderful way to really make the most of only 3 nights in London. And then, of course, we also have those West End tickets for any, Mamma Mia fans or Wicked fans. We are able to secure those for clients, as well as in Paris. We also have, tours of the Louvre, the Versailles Palace, and then another really popular one to add on and very cost effective is our Seine River cruise. This is definitely, a must do for many visiting Paris. And then to move on from there, France and Netherlands is also really popular. Paris and Amsterdam are a great connection. They contrast, in my opinion, I think beautifully. Paris has that art and romance and elegance, where Amsterdam is more the canals and the flowers and that laid back charm. That high speed rail makes it real easy. I mean, we're talking about, less than 3 hours on a rail, and you are already in the next city. These are obviously, really big bucket list destinations for a lot of clients, and there are plenty of day trips that go out from both of these cities. And then some of the highlights that I would say for a 3 night Amsterdam and 3 night Paris, we definitely, want to see as much as we can with only 3 nights. We want to see the gardens, and we also, one thing to know for the guided boat tour, this is a canal boat tour that takes them all throughout the neighborhoods of Amsterdam and then finishes off at the Anne Frank House, where clients would be able to secure their own tickets at that point. And then heading on to Paris, we also have, like I mentioned, guided tour of the Louvre, as well as some nice, really wonderful walking tours of the Latin Quarter, as well as the Saint Germain district that are very popular. We also have from Paris, you can take a day trip to the home and studio of Monet. I've done this trip myself, headed out to Giverny. It is gorgeous. I highly recommend it to a lot of our clients who kind of want to escape Paris for the day and maybe see some of the countryside. Highly recommend that one. And then moving on, I think, to our next, Hungary and Austria. This is also really popular. Vienna and Budapest, are really perfect for history lovers, nature enthusiasts. We have our castles, classical music, beautiful scenery, really a great pairing for destinations that just connect very well together. They work well together. I definitely, I always say, if you could connect through rail, it's always easier. Don't have to deal with any of the airport connections. It is a simple, just a quick rail between, Vienna and then Budapest. And then we also have some highlights for this one. I would say you can't go to Budapest without visiting those thermal baths, as well as doing, we have a really wonderful city tour that is led by a local who also takes you into Budapest's parliament. Highly recommend seeing that one. And then I do not think I've ever booked a Vienna trip without doing the Mozart concert. That is definitely a highlight for many people. This does include dinner. It's a very romantic and historical way to spend the night, seeing that Mozart concert in Vienna. And then also, spending the next day on the Danube, visiting the abbeys. Definitely highly recommend this. And can all be done in, just 3 nights in each location. So it's very easy to do on a shorter trip, which I know, sometimes we just have timing constraints. We want to see a lot in a little bit of time. And then for our next one, this one also very popular, Spain and Portugal. These are two neighboring countries with very distinct yet complementary cultures. They both have that old world charm with that cosmopolitan flair. You have the distinct cuisines and climates of both. while still working very well together. We do have rail and regional airlines that simplify this travel, makes it very easy for clients to maximize their time in these two countries. And then I would say if they were going to do 3 nights in Lisbon or in Porto, and then 3 nights in either Madrid or Seville, depending on what the client prefers, there's plenty to do. I highly recommend Lisbon always as a location for those who may be on a budget. I definitely, you could do a lot in Lisbon with a little. We can definitely, sample traditional dishes on some very popular food walking tours that we have. And then another really good highlight to see would be the Sinatra mountains, do the Piana Palace. We also, and then heading on over to Spain, we do have plenty of tapas classes that actually you learn how to make it with a Spanish chef. We also have market tours that really just kind of expand the local culture that they'll be getting. And then, of course, the flamenco shows, we are able to secure nightly shows and add this directly onto the itinerary. Makes it real easy for them to see a lot in just, under 6 nights in Spain and Portugal. And then, yeah, for Italy and Switzerland, this is one of my personal favorites. Stunning rail routes really connect through the Alps seamlessly. They with Italy's lakes and then that Mediterranean flair. I highly recommend Lucerne for those visiting Switzerland. Another one of my personal favorites. It is absolutely gorgeous with wonderful connections all throughout. Can get you to Milan or Como fairly easily from Lucerne. No airport needed. These obviously have iconic, art, cuisine, and then mountain landscapes throughout with that train that connects them. And then some of our highlights, if they were going to do 3 nights in Lucerne, 2 nights in Lake Como, and two in Milan, I definitely would say do that train ride that's going to take them from Lucerne over to Como and then down to Milan. You're going to want to do, we have plenty of wine tastings and cooking classes in Como, also led by locals that are, really spectacular. They really get a piece of the local flair. And then in Milan, the city of fashion, we have plenty of tours that include fashion tours. We also have shopping tours that take clients throughout some of the most popular shopping malls throughout Milan. That is always a very fun one. And then they can try their hand at making Italian gelato from scratch in Milan. This is also a very good one for if children. I found a lot of families that are traveling really like to do these specialty food cooking tours. Not just your classic pizza making, but Italian gelato from scratch. It is something that cannot be replicated anywhere else. And then
Right.
I would say, I think, yeah, I think that was it for, but in conclusion, I would just say what we should keep in mind is that pairing the right countries really makes itineraries feel, balanced, efficient, memorable for clients. It saves them on time and money, no unnecessary stresses added, and they just return home with, richer travel experiences. Thoughtful pairings, not only improve the trip, but also they demonstrate your expertise as a travel advisor. We're designing a journey that's going to flow beautifully and they're going to return home with, awesome memories that we created. And yeah, so I would say that would be it from me. I definitely making sure that we're pairing the right countries together.
Thank you so much, Julia. That is amazing, wonderful insights there. I hope this has really helped our advisors kind of have some good talking points in those consultation with clients. I know it can be tricky to keep their feet on the ground when they have a laundry list of destinations they
Yeah,
want to visit, but Europe will always be there, and it's always worth coming back to. So we're never going to see enough in one go, isn't that right?
exactly. Exactly. Yes.
All right. Now,
Thank you.
Julia has pointed out some amazing itineraries, and I want to make sure that you all can find some of this information to share with your clients. Now, as you know, we build every single itinerary from scratch based on what your clients' wants and needs are. But we recognize that it's helpful to have some talking points, to have kind of a blueprint of an itinerary to look at, to kind of share with your clients and get the conversation started. So on europeexpress.com, we recommend checking out some of our sample itineraries. These are all listed by destination. Let me get that video going again. So you can just pull up a country that your client's interested in, scroll down to the suggested itineraries, and there's a handful of different options that can help you get that conversation started. Your clients might say, "I want to go to Greece. I've been dreaming of going to Greece," and then when you ask exactly where they want to go or what they want to do, you get crickets. So this will help guide that conversation, give them an idea of what a fully fleshed out itinerary may look like. But bear in mind, you and your clients are not beholden to any of these itineraries. These are just kind of conversation starters to start, getting them thinking about what they want or maybe what they don't want. We can edit and you can submit the booking request from there. Now, Julie's also shared some amazing sightseeing experiences, some really unique stuff, really hands-on and culturally immersive. And if you're looking to share some of those sightseeing experiences with your clients, maybe you're building your social media presence and want to share some. Did you know you can go on an Outlander tour in Scotland? Anything like that. You can also pull up our sightseeing tours on our website. So you can search by country or just by typing in. So if you search by country, you'll come to a web page that'll just have a list of countries, and you could search, drill down by city and see some of our most popular options. This is not an exhaustive list of every single sightseeing that we have on offer. There is a lot more to it, but this gives you a good place to start and some good examples of what's popular in the major cities that we sell. If your clients are kind of flexible on destination, but they want to do a cooking class, you can type that in, and this will bring you a full list of options regardless of country. So you can see all the different cooking classes on offer, or uh, you know, movie tours, or whatever the case may be. All right, now as we round out today's webinar, I want to share a few resources and some recent news, share what's been going on with us at Europe Express. Kind of the main thing that we've rolled out this year is our reward program. Europe Express has never had a travel advisor reward program ever. So we rolled that out earlier this year. We're thrilled to have Passport to Perks live. Every single booking you make as a travel advisor counts towards this reward program, and you're enrolled automatically. You don't have to fill out any forms. You don't have to keep tabs of all of your booking numbers for tracking. All you need to do is keep selling Custom Europe, and you'll continue to accrue your rewards. And there are options within those rewards as well. There's a travel cash option. We love to have our travel advisors explore Europe with us. So you can use your Passport to Perks travel cash to go to Europe and make that more cost effective. There's also a cashback option as well, along with a handful of other rewards as you move up the 4 tiers of the reward program that you see here. And now you can always keep track of where you're at. When you're logged in at europeexpress.com, you'll see that rewards tab pop up at the top there. So that is your personalized rewards dashboard. Clearly, I've got some work to do. I don't have any travel credit yet, but this will update as you sell, and you can see what your rewards are and how close you are to that next tier. And of course, it will also connect you with your business development manager if you have more questions or want to kind of work on a business plan with them to get you to that next tier. And of course, we got to sweeten the deal a little bit for you. Your very first travel booking in 2025 will get you a bonus $100 travel credit. So regardless of the value of that first initial booking, you're going to get a $100 travel credit on top of it as well. And it is absolutely not too late to get clients traveling in 2025. We are still seeing a lot of those close in bookings, clients that want to make that kind of last minute getaway while the weather's still nice. So 2025 is still absolutely on the table. We're just starting to get into more kind of Christmas markets, holiday travel. So there is plenty of time to get out there and start selling more Custom Europe and take advantage of that bonus $100 travel credit. But it all starts with registration. Got to make sure you're registered with us at Europe Express. Even if you're not selling custom Europe just yet, I always recommend registering with us. That way, that process is done and you're in the system and you're ready to rock and roll as soon as you do have a client interested in custom Europe. So at europeexpress.com, it'll prompt you to register. You can also grab that QR code if you have your mobile phone handy and get started that way as well. Registration typically processes in about 24 hours, so we do try to turn that around really quickly. But just better to have it done and have you in the system ahead of the game. Now, once you are registered and have clients interested in a custom Europe trip with you, there are a few different ways that you can actually request a quote from Julia or one of our other Europe specialists. We recognize that being a travel agent is not a 9 to 5 clock in, clock out type of job anymore. So we want to make sure you have options to work with us that work best for how you operate your business. So you can always email us at newquote@europeexpress.com. Fill out all the information what your clients are requesting, and we can work with you from there. We also have a web request form online, so this will kind of give you some prompts of the basic information we need to get the process started. So that's a good way to do it too, just to make sure we've got all of the information we need right off the bat. If it is a destination that you're familiar with, or maybe it's just a couple nights pre-cruise in Amsterdam, whatever the case may be, you can build it yourself in our booking portal. And you can always give us a call as well. I highly recommend calling us, especially if you're new to Europe Express or new to selling custom Europe. Give us a call, have a chat. We can match you up with one of our specialists, and you can kind of, chat with them about your business and make sure that we're supporting you, meeting where you're at in terms of your custom Europe business. Now, if this webinar has got you inspired and ready to grab your passport and run out the door, I know it always does that for me, you can take advantage of our FAM rates. We have FAM rates for travel advisors who want to experience custom Europe with us, take that independent trip. We do offer advisor exclusive discounts just for you. So you can book a full FIT custom itinerary with us, a pre or post cruise extension, whatever the case may be. So just so you know that that is out and available for you to use at any time. We love to have our agents travel with us and experience Europe Express as you're selling. All right. Now, if you don't already know your business development manager, please take a screenshot of this, or jot down some of the information here so you can find their details. The quickest way to do it is at europeexpress.com/sales team. You'll be able to plug in your state, and it will let you know who the business development manager is that manages that state. And for our travel advisors who are part of a host account or are an independent contractor, maybe you're located in Arizona, but your host is in Florida, we want you working with the business development manager where you're geographically located. So in that instance, you'd work with our Southwest BDM, not our Southeast BDM, so that they can, meet with you in real life, physically, where you're based out of. So I'll hover over here for just a minute if you need to jot down any of these details. And make sure we connect you with your business development manager. Let them know Kelsey and Julia sent you. All right, and this slide should also be helpful as well. That quick links QR code or URL there will also get you to a landing page where you can find your BDM or access the registration information. Make sure you get started with Europe Express, and we've got you all registered and ready to rock and roll. All right, so I'll leave it there for a little bit. If anyone needs to grab a QR code, jot down the URL, and we will answer some questions. If Julia wants to come back on the mic, let's see what we've got in the chat.
Hi, yes, ready for questions.
Yeah, we got a few new travel agents, just started as an independent. Awesome, welcome. Let's see, is this being recorded? Yes, we record all of our webinars, so you can always refer back. Um, all right, my clients are going to Italy next month with Europe Express and are very excited. Amazing. September, correct me if I'm wrong, Julia, but that's a pretty perfect month for going to Italy.
quite perfect for weather. Really, it's not a busy time either, but also, everything's not shut down for winter yet. So no, I think, yeah, September is almost the perfect month to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Sending clients to Scotland and Ireland next month. Awesome. I mean, weather is a little bit more less reliable, I would say, in Scotland and Ireland, but still absolutely
Yes,
beautiful.
it's always rainy
Yeah.
anyway.
You got to pack for all four seasons, no matter what
Yeah,
time of year.
it's worth it.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. Used Europe Express for my personal Europe trip this summer and it was flawless. Oh, thank you, Judith. That's wonderful to hear.
Awesome.
Um, Kathleen says, I've never met my business development manager here in Seattle. We do have a new BDM for the Northwest. Her name is Sule. So, Kathleen, make sure you check out the sales team page and connect with Sule. She has a ton of industry experience. We loved having her join the Europe Express team. So, she'll be a great resource for you. All right, Daryl asks, can you do a mix of self-driving as well as guided tours in the same itinerary? Julia, what do you think?
So yes, I always, yeah, absolutely. If the clients are comfortable doing a self-drive, I always recommend that. I mean, that really gives them the most agency when they want to, see what they want to see. And that doesn't mean that they can't do guided tours. I've personally, I've done a few. This is really perfect for, Scotland and Ireland itineraries where they do the self-drive, but still have that guided tour to take them out for things that they might not want to do in a car. Like, for example, like the Ring of Cary would be a really good one that I would say, even if you have that rental car, definitely still have that guided tour, have someone actually like bring you there, have the tickets, and then bring you back. But it definitely makes it a lot easier for the clients.
Yeah, and I think that keeps it fun and exciting too to have that mix
Yeah,
of guided as well as self-drive. Also with Scotland and Ireland, if your clients are doing any whiskey tours, they're very strict about, you can't sample any
yes,
whiskey if you're driving as well. So yeah, that can be a disappointment if folks are doing a self-drive. So guided tours are great for those distillery trips too.
absolutely. No, that's a great point.
Catherine says, is the Louvre scheduled for some renovations in 2026? I thought I read something along those lines. I have read that as well. I don't have more like concrete information about that. I know it's happening. I'm sure they'll do it a little at a time, so not shutting down the entire museum. Julia, have you heard anything more concrete about that?
Nothing more concrete. That is something that our product team, they check, every single day and they're in, great, connection with, our actually like our tour operators on the ground. So if anything was going to actually affect a client's trip, we would be aware of that and would let, of course, you and the client know. But no, nothing yet that's actually, being changed or nothing concrete. But that's definitely something that you would be able to work with your reservation specialist and they'd be on top of, making sure that there's no issues when they're actually going and doing that Louvre tour.
Definitely. Yeah. And if that is scheduled to happen, I would say if your clients are really, determined to go to Paris, maybe try to squeeze that in this year just in
Yeah,
case. But yeah, more information to come on Louvre renovations. But yeah, yeah, those are coming.
yeah.
Um, what about, it says London and Paris, going to Paris just for the day.
Yeah,
What do you think?
actually, I am really happy that someone brought that up because that is something that we offer. I've definitely have had clients do that before where they, just want to see Paris just for the day, just say that they've been there. We actually offer our tour, and you can find this in our sightseeings on our europeexpress.com page, where we have it's called the Welcome to Paris tour from London, and it's a quite a long tour. It's about 11 hours, but that does include the back and forth on the Eurostar, and then a guided coach tour of a lot of the highlights in Paris, as well as a Seine River cruise. So it really knocks out a lot of the bucket list items in Paris in just one day. So I definitely would say, yeah, it's doable and, has been done before.
That's great. And then you don't have to pack up and move. You just have to make
No.
sure you've got some coffee to power through a long travel day and see a whole
Oh,
new
yeah.
country.
Yeah. Smart
Uh,
thinking.
yeah. So Charlene had a question about Amsterdam. Appreciate that the Anne Frank House doesn't sell tickets to suppliers like
Yeah.
us. That clients have to obtain those directly. Um, do we know and can we share the expected arrival time at the Anne Frank house for tours that conclude there to make sure they can, try to get those tickets for a more precise time?
No, and that's a really good point because that is how they do the tickets for Anne Frank is that they are on a timed basis. So it really would depend on which tour they actually decided on choosing. The one that I mentioned earlier, that usually is departing in the morning, and then it is around a 3 and a 3.5 hour long tour. But that's something that definitely you would want to work with your reservation specialist on that one, just telling them, hey, listen, we've secured 3 p.m. tickets for Anne Frank, so we'll have to make sure that we're ending before that. And that's definitely something that we would be able to accommodate. Certainly very popular for Amsterdam for clients to have those tickets and to just kind of work it around. But definitely, that's something that we'd be able to give you that information after we have the tour picked out.
Awesome. Good to know. Carolyn was asking about one of our sister brands called LeBoat. Now, I know a little bit about LeBoat. Julia, do you have anything to share on working with them, or do you want me to
Only
take that one?
slightly. Yeah, if you LeBoat is awesome and I've definitely seen some of the itineraries that they've done and I've looked myself for personal travel, but that is about as far as I go on my knowledge for that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, so LeBeau is a sister brand. We do operate independently, but we can, kind of align our itineraries and pull in a LeBeau reservation at Europe Express. We actually did a FAM with them where advisors did Ireland with Europe Express, and then they did some of the Ireland canals with LeBeau. So we can kind of pull together those itineraries for land and on LeBeau. And for those that don't know, LeBeau is a uh, boat rental company that we work with that operate in Europe. So you are driving yourself, and there are cabins on board. There's a variety of boat sizes to accommodate. I think like just two people up to six, maybe. So there's a few different standards, and those operate on the canals and the rivers of Europe. But you are driving yourself. I've had some colleagues that have gotten them in Amsterdam, but just used it as accommodation. They just like stayed on the canals and, didn't, feel the need to drive around. They just used it there. So really unique thing. Probably not for like a first timer in Europe, I would say, but a really cool, unique offering, for clients that have that specialized interest. Beth is asking, do we offer self-guided tours or just the tickets for, big tourist attractions, museums like the Louvre, if the client isn't interested in a group tour of those sites?
So that definitely, I hate to say that it is it changes, that varies depending on the tour. There absolutely are, tickets that we can offer. I know, for example, we have a self-guided ticket up to the second floor of the Eiffel Tower is something that we usually offer, as well as the Louvre is something that we offer. That's really, again, something you would want to check with your reservation specialist that you're working on for that specific itinerary, and they'd be able to let you know. For most tickets, we're not able to do, but yeah, since you mentioned popular ones, sometimes we are able to locate those. Really, for tickets, I always like I mentioned earlier, that is something that we do for a lot of like West End shows or like that Mozart concert. That is something that we do, tickets self-guided for. But we really do, we try to focus on, more guided tours, small group tours, or private tours. But yeah, no, that's a great question.
Yeah, the private tours are great. I think there is sometimes a assumption made about group tours, like you're traveling in a pack of like 100 people, where really
Yeah.
what the bulk of what Europe Express offers are those private and small group experiences. Those are definitely kind of the biggest piece of our product offering. So you do have that immersive experience. You have a private guide or a small group of less than maybe around 20 people or so for small groups. So it still is an intimate experience, and you can really connect with that destination, even on a day tour.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Amy asked if we'll get a copy of the presentation later. Yes, you'll be sent a link to the recording that you can access anytime. And on europeexpress.com, under the resources section, you can also access our whole webinar library. So if you're not already sick of my voice, there are plenty more webinars that you can check out, different destinations or all about pre-post cruise. Next week, we'll be hosting a webinar all about Turkey. So yeah, lots of great educational content available to you. Robin's asking about having like a questionnaire to kind of help do that initial consultation with clients. I know we have the web request form that can function like that. Any other advice there, Julia?
I definitely, so I have like my own kind of, intake that I definitely, it helps me. I would be more than willing if, whoever asks wants to reach out to me directly. I have my own, but of course, like Kelsey mentioned, we definitely, that one on our website is also a really good, just kind of gives us everything we need, like the exacts, and then, of course, anything else added on. I think we do also have a comment section, but I'd be more than willing to share my kind of form if anyone is interested and wanting to reach out.
Perfect. Yeah, Julia. Well, we do have everyone's like registration information, so we can
Awesome.
absolutely yeah, get that questionnaire out. That's super helpful.
Awesome. Cool.
Katie asked that she has a retired couple wanting to spend 5 to 6 weeks in Europe. Amazing. Any advice on persuading them not to pack in too much in that time frame?
Yeah, so I mean, that was, really what we were trying to, get along here. We want to definitely make sure that we're picking countries that work together without overloading. If we're talking about, moving countries every few days, they'll end up at the end of that month, month and a half, just exhausted. I would say, maybe focus on what is the top on their bucket list, what is, what would well connect together, and also like what we mentioned, what's going to have the same kind of culture, the same kind of just making sure we're connecting everything. It isn't I think too far off to say that you could see a lot in 5 or 6 weeks, but definitely keep in mind like what we mentioned, making sure you're spending enough amount of time in each destination so that it doesn't just feel like a blur by the end of it.
Absolutely. And a lot of our itineraries will have kind of one city as a home base and take day trips. So they're seeing a variety of destinations, but without packing and unpacking and moving hotels like every night or every other night. So I think there's like a sweet spot with that too, to kind of have,
Yes.
yeah, that home base and then day trips out works really well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then to go back with like we were saying, with the self-driving car, that also, having your own freedom, maybe, setting up in just one location, having that car, and then doing destinations out from there makes it really, really seamless for the clients.
Love that. All right, another question about, aside from hotels, do we have access to any villas or private homes for accommodation?
So unfortunately, we don't really do anything involving like an Airbnb style accommodation. What we do have in some locations, we have apartment style hotels. So we have here at Europe Express, we have to make sure that hotels are meeting our standards. They are 3 stars and above. They have 24/7 front desk, someone at the front desk to actually assist them. So we definitely we got to make sure that we're crossing off our boxes here, but we definitely have some villas. I know, for example, in Tuscany, that is very popular to have, kind of a villa style accommodation without having, their own villa and being all on their own. They still would have, all of the accommodations that they normally would have, while still getting the benefit of having that extra space.
Love that. Okay, so there are options that, give that villa experience, but still offer the requirements that Europe Express has with the
Yes, it's
24/7.
still in a hotel style accommodation, just with, but with the space of a villa or apartment.
Love that. Um, let's see, something about passport to perks. Are there only perks for TAs after they take classes? So the passport to perks, those come in with every single booking you make. So there isn't any educational requirement at this stage. You do earn travel cash with every single booking. Marion is asking about our deposit structure. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so how our deposit works, as long as the clients are not within the 75 days prior, after 75 days, we do require full payment. But before that, we require deposit on is a $250 per person land deposit, as well as if there is airfare or rail on the itinerary, then we would also require that to be deposited. But that is it. So usually our deposit amounts are not too high. They are fairly easy for us to just start locking in services, locking in pricing. That is why I always, recommend, as soon as we're happy with our itinerary and they put that deposit down, we can start confirming right away. So, yeah, no, I definitely, for deposits, that's how that would work. And your reservation specialist would be able to tell you as soon as we have that initial itinerary what the deposit will be. So, there's never any question. That is always yeah, at the bottom of every PDF version of the itinerary that we send is that initial deposit amount.
Awesome. Blair asks, how long has Europe Express been around?
Um, Kelsey, do you know the answer to
I
that one? We've been around
do.
since
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
we started back in 1990, so we are
Nice.
35 this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see, a couple questions about FAMs, which I'm happy to answer. I do manage our FAM programming here at Europe Express. To find out more about FAMs and qualifying for them, um, connect with your business development manager. You do have to be part of Passport to Perks to qualify for a FAM, so that initial tier. So now is a great time to connect with your business development manager and make a plan to ensure that you qualify for a FAM in 2026. We are hosting FAMs this fall and winter, but they are just about full, I believe, at this stage. So we will be starting to roll out 2026 here very shortly. Gisela, located in Mexico. Who do I need to contact? Gisela, we'll take that offline. We can support advisors based in Mexico and Canada, but we'll connect with you offline and make sure you get the support that you need. We have a question about connecting Zurich, Belgium, and Amsterdam in one itinerary, asking if that's doable or if that's like, taking off, too big of a bite to chew.
I guess it would really depend on how long they were looking to spend in each location. Like we mentioned, as long as they're spending, over 2 or 3 nights in each location and they are open to that travel time in between each, I would definitely say, it's something that they could do. Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds like a fun itinerary.
Nice. All right, about to plan a trip to Ireland. Can't wait to use Europe Express. Awesome. Thank
Hmm.
you. How is the weather in Italy and Switzerland in October?
Italy and Switzerland. So I would say, depending on where in Italy, I would say we're still going to get that really nice breezy weather. It's not going to be too cold. I'd say, I'm here on the East Coast. I'm originally from Indiana. I would say it'd be like a nice Midwest, August or September day. It's not going to be too hot, not going to be too cold. I would say almost perfect.
Love it. And there'll be a range. Switzerland is further north than Italy, so I'm sure, yeah, like Sicily is going to be a
Yeah,
little
of
a little bit
course.
warmer.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it depends on
You'll
the.
get a little bit of a colder, if you're going to the Alps for sure. We're definitely talking, some colder weather. But yeah, no, I'm really, focusing on mid Italy. I would say really good weather.
Perfect. All right. We have an agent who said she booked a lot of the elements for her client's itinerary herself, but needs transfers. That's like the last missing piece. Can we do bookings that are like transfers only?
Yeah, we absolutely can. No, that is definitely something that we love to assist with. We just need, the information of pick up and drop off, and we would, yeah, very happily can make a transfer only itinerary.
Awesome. Let's see. Well, we are just about at time. Isabel's asking about travel perks for travel advisors. Yes, we have our FAM rates for advisors, so you can absolutely travel with us at a discount. Um, got a couple questions about getting registered, we can take those offline, look at that individually. We'll wrap up the webinar here, guys. There will be a post-webinar survey that pops up. It's only 4 or 5 questions. We'd love to hear your feedback. It really does help inform the educational content that we put together here at Europe Express. So a big thank you to Julia for her time and her expertise. So awesome to have our Europe specialist on the line to help educate our advisors. So thank you, Julia, and thank you everyone for joining today.
Thank you, Kelsey. This was awesome. I really appreciate you guys joining us.
All right, thanks. Take care.
Bye.